Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the Marion City Council regular session for Thursday, May 5th, 2022. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call, please.
Mr. Harper.
Here.
Mr. Jensen.
Here.
Ms. Atkins. Mayor Abu-Wassili.
Here.
Mr. Brandt. Ms. Menzer. Here. Mr. Sterned.
Here.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we have a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. This evening, we have three proclamations. The first one is for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which is the month of May 2022. And I've asked Councilmember Jensen to present that proclamation. And we have Angelica Venata on behalf of the Marion Civil Rights Commission here to accept it. Welcome.
Whereas the contributions of Americans of Asian and Pacific Islander descent are firmly woven into the diverse fabric of our community and nation. And whereas during Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we celebrate we celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of Americans of Asian and Pacific Islander heritage that have enriched our great country and helped define our history. And whereas these Americans bolster our economy as entrepreneurs, business owners, and employees who initiate and expand opportunities for their families, communities, and country. And whereas their languages, art, cuisine, and other cultural elements have enriched the American experience. And whereas this month we honor the more than 22 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who call America home, including those in our own community. We recognize the achievements of Americans of Asian, American, and Pacific Islander heritage in education, business, science, the arts, government, and the armed forces. We celebrate their story as a unique part of the American way. Now, therefore, I, Steve Jensen, on behalf of Nicholas Abu-Wassili, Mayor of the City of Marion, Iowa, do hereby proclaim the month of May as Asian, American, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in the City of Marion, Iowa, and encourage all residents to observe this month and celebrate the achievements and contributions of Americans of Asian and Pacific Islander descent.
Thank you so much. And I did just want to add a little caveat. I think this was just this year that they added the term or the ethnicity Native Hawaiian into the Heritage Month. So we'll just make sure we add another couple of letters whenever we do this again. So it's Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Month. That just rolls off the tongue. But I am Pacific Islander. I'm actually Polynesian or from American Samoa. I'm also the chair of the Marian Civil Rights Commission, and I just wanted to come here and say a few words on behalf of the commission. So as some of the fastest growing racial and ethnic groups in the nation, Asian Americans and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander communities represent a multitude of ethnicities, languages, and experiences. This term that I referred to, AANHPI, includes cultures from the entire Asian continent. So that's East, Southeast, and South Asia, as well as the Pacific Islands of Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. In the month of May, we paid tribute to the generations of Asian and Pacific Islanders who have enriched America's history and been instrumental in its future success, and recognize the challenges that many as immigrants have faced along the way. My own story starts in 1904 when what is now American Samoa was ceded to the United States. So my grandparents were, my entire mother's family is from Samoa. So beginning in 1920s, Samoans began migrating to Hawaii and the mainland and serving in the United States military in World War II. My mother emigrated in 1971, joined the United States Army. 15 years later, though, she found herself a divorced single mother raising children in Marshalltown, Iowa, in a community where at the time there was less than 4 people of color that resided there. It was oftentimes isolating for myself, sometimes confusing living in a community that didn't recognize my unique culture, nor did they have anyone who, other than my own family, who knew about Fa'a Samoa, which was the Samoan way. So there was a lot about my culture that I didn't understand at a young age. So this month is really important to me because it'll always be a time for me to reflect on my own identity, my own culture, because my culture and my identity is a part of the history of the United States. So I just want to thank the city of Marion, Mayor Abu-Asley, for striving to be a model of inclusive leadership and everyone's commitment to creating a community of welcome and belonging through collaboration and transparency. So thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, we have another proclamation, which is for Public Works Week. And Councilmember Cernat is going to present it, and I believe our city engineer is going to accept it. There we go.
Good evening. Whereas works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are all vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Marion. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not provide without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are federally mandated first responders and the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our residents. And whereas it is public interest for the residents, civic leaders, and children in the Marion to gain knowledge of and to maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works, first responders, and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, Be It Now. Now, therefore, I, Randy Sternad, on behalf of Nicholas Abu-Asley, Mayor of the City of Marion, Iowa, do hereby designate the week of May 15th through the 21st of 2022 as National Public Works Week. I urge all residents to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and the government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life.
Thank you. And our final proclamation tonight is going to be presented by Councilmember Menzer, and I think city engineer is accepting that one too. Well, you're popular tonight. All right. This is Bike to Work Week.
Oh, come on. Okay. Whereas for more than a century, the bicycle has been a utilitarian, economical, environmentally sound, and effective means of personal transportation, recreation, and fitness. And whereas the city of Marion, Iowa encourages the use of bicycles as a means of transportation. And whereas the city of Marion, Iowa recognizes the bicycle as a legitimate roadway vehicle and therefore is entitled to legal and responsible use of all public roadway facilities in Iowa, except highways constructed to interstate standards. And whereas the city of Marion, Iowa encourages the increased use of the bicycle, benefiting all citizens of Marion by improving air quality, reducing traffic congestion and noise, decreasing the use of and dependence upon finite energy sources, and fostering exercise. And whereas the city of Marion recognizes the use of bicycles as a viable mode of transportation, endeavors to promote safe and responsible bicycling, and is committed to incorporating the development of bicycle facilities as identified in the Master Trails Plan. And whereas the League of American Bicyclists has established May as National Bicycle Month. Now, therefore, I, Sarah Menser, on behalf of Nicholas Abuasley, Mayor of the City of Marion, Iowa, do hereby proclaim May 16th through the 20th, 2022 as Bike to Work Week in the City of Marion, Iowa, and encourage all residents to recognize the importance of sharing our streets and highways with cyclists, and also encourage residents to participate in cycling activities to whatever extent possible during this week, including cycling to work.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this one I'll talk about a little bit. So those of you that don't know, we do quite a few rides for the Bike to Work Week. Amber will be sending a lot of the stuff out on Facebook. But those that don't know, there's the Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization, or those that like acronyms, CMPO ride, that starts at Lau Park. It's on Saturday, May 14th at 9:30. It'll actually be completely within the city of Marion and will end back at Lau Park. It's a 17-mile ride, family speeds, so anybody can join. And then if you sign up, you might have missed the deadline, but there's ARP is supplying lunch that day. Tuesday, May 17th at 7:30 a.m. We're going to start at Thomas Park and we will ride to City Square Park, and our mayor will be rereading the proclamation for everyone then. Wednesday, May 18th at 6 p.m. we have the Lynn County Rite of Silence. That'll begin and end at the City Square Park. And one of our honorees today, Mr. Tom Dobbs, will be leading that in his patrol vehicle. So that is one that we actually drive on major roads. And with that one, we have a police escort in front, and behind it's similar to a funeral procession. And so it's basically in honor of those that have been injured or killed while cycling on the public roadways, to bring attention to that. So it's a good ride to be involved with, but is also can hit the heart on that. And then Thursday, May 19th is the Pedal Marion ride. It'll begin at the City Square Park and it'll go out to Waldo's Rock Park and back. And then Friday, May 20th at 7:30 a.m. is National Bike to Work Day ride. So we will start at Butterfield Park and we will ride to City Square Park. So if you're available to do any of those rides, we encourage you to come and join us.
Thank you, Mr. Barkalow. Okay, we do have a presentation this evening of the Masonry Institute of Iowa Award from the Marion Public Library Project. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council.
Good evening.
I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity to present and celebrate a recent accolade the city has received from the Masonry Institute. Before I get started with that, though, I did want to thank Council for your support for the magnificent building we have almost to completion next door. I also want to take the opportunity to thank our community partners. It has truly been a community effort to get the library building to where it is today. The honor and privilege is mine to present this award to the city. This was recently received from the Masonry Institute of Iowa. The Masonry Institute of Iowa Appreciation Award is presented to projects that demonstrate significant masonry assemblies. So at this time, I'd like to recognize the design steering committee members that were a part of helping with the design elements and choosing the masonry for this project. So when I call your name, if you wouldn't mind either coming down or coming up in recognition and thank you for your contribution to receiving this award. So with no further ado, Mayor Abu-Asley, Councilman Brandt, Councilman Jensen, Library Board President Sally Reck, Library Board Member Kim Rose, Library Board Member Ross McIntyre, our very popular city engineer, Mike Barkalow, City Finance Director, Leanne Carey, and Sean Kelly with Ingberg Anderson Architects.
Let's do 2 rows. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have a stop, right? Thank you for that, Bill. Having had a sneak peek at the library, there's so much to be proud of in that facility, and I've been just sharing with people that it's so. I can't wait for everyone to be able to go in there and see it. It's so well thought out. Every detail is well thought out. It's so well planned. Every square inch is utilized in a great way. It's going to be something that we're all very proud of. A new point of pride for Marion. I know we have a string of those recently, and this is just going to be the latest and the points of pride that we have as a community. So thanks to everyone for all your work and efforts on it. Okay, at this time we have a public forum, which is a time set aside for comments from members of the public to the council on any item which is on the agenda but not associated with a public hearing. If anyone has comments related to an item that has a public hearing associated with it, then there'll be time to comment at that time. But right now we'll take comments on any item that's on the agenda but not part of a public hearing. So please come forward. Yep, come on forward, Les. And yep, you can give that to the clerk and then just say your name and address and address the council. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for the time. My name is Les Arnold and I own the Brick Alley Pub in Marion. I live at 4111 Peridot Court in Marion. My property is located at 1038 7th Avenue in Uptown Marion. I'm here tonight because later on the docket, there is a motion to grant me or to vote for a small easement into the alleyway. This past summer, my patio collapsed, and so I'm having to redo my patio. And when we're doing that, we're going to add steps down into the alleyway so that we can have patrons come up from the alleyway onto the back patio. And also as an additional safety feature for fire escape out the back of my building. As of right now, you can't get out the back patio without going over the railing. So this will also help with that. So I'm requesting the easement because we are also planning on putting in a outside service door for us to serve beverages out on the back patio, kind of like a food truck type door that we can serve beverages out in the back alley. So the easement is because if the steps come all the way up, it interferes with the internal construction or area of my building, which doesn't allow me to add that service area. So that's why I'm requesting 2 steps worth 22 inches into the alley. It would sit between the planter that's currently on one side and a bench that's on the other, so it shouldn't impede traffic flow through the alley. So that's why I'm here.
Any questions Mr. Arnold. Go ahead.
The planter and the bench yours?
They're not,
They're
they're,
the
they're
cities.
part of the park.
Okay, and then, did you look at all about going the other into the, I would call it the north-south side of this?
Yes, ma'am. The problem with that is my double doors on the outside open up out towards the outside.
Okay.
And if you open up the door, you could then no longer get access to steps going the other direction.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead, Steve, and then Grant.
Yeah, so if I look at this, I mean, the 22 inches doesn't sound like a lot,
Right.
but it still goes out into the alley, which is only 10 foot wide. And, you know, if the planter and bench aren't there, you know, I do see that as a potential problem.
Mhm.
I'm familiar with your place and the door that goes into the alley. What is the difference? You got this door that goes up into your bar.
Mhm.
This goes into the alley. What is this 4 foot space between there and this, where you want to put this window? What is in that space?
So right now it's a storage room, and that's where I want to put like a service bar area to the outside.
Okay. But if you did not have this, the service window, you could still serve that area through this door, right?
You could, but people have to go all the way up into the bar,
Right.
and it's not conducive to what most people want, quick service and ease of getting there.
Okay, so this door you got to mention, is this door there now?
It is there. Yep, yep.
That is there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the real benefit or trade-off of going 22 inches in the alley
If
for the
I-
bar service window.
Right. So if I bring the steps all the way even with my property,
Right.
then I cannot do that.
And that's the trade-off I'm saying is it worth going into the alley
Yeah.
from our standpoint, 22 inches so that you can have that window?
Yeah,
And
I'm trying to expand my ability to increase my business in the alleyway. Presently, I have no real,
I'm in total
Yeah,
support of that
yeah.
aspect. I think that adds to the entire area there. So with you putting steps one way or the other, I think that adds a lot
correct.
to your establishment as well as, you know, serving everybody that's out there in the alley as well. I've been there a number of times, so it's a great place,
Right.
great time. I'm just trying to understand whether, you know, the easement is worth the window, because I think you can still
Understand.
serve the patrons out on the patio
We-
without
we
having that
can,
window.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
First off, I want to applaud your efforts to try to make it more customer centric.
Yeah.
As I'm thinking about this. A question, since there is somewhat of a spatial conflict between the bar service window and the steps.
Hmm.
Is it structurally possible? And staff that's been worrying about this, sorry, I'm asking this question now,
Please do.
but is it possible to move the steps to, I'm going to just across to the opposite corner of your patio and have them wholly contained within the footprint of your property?
So the similar question she asked, I have double doors that come out, and when you open the doors on the back, on the one wall of there's two sets of doors. There's the side door that you see along the wall where I want to put the steps. There's also a set of double doors on the back. And when you open up those doors, you can no longer get to the steps if you were talking about the right side of the property.
Okay, so because of that door conflict, it would be impossible to move it to this corner of the patio.
So if I moved it to that corner, you eat up so much of the space on the patio that there's really no room to put seating. It just eats up right in the middle, and to put tables, if you have steps on one side, you can use, the entire rest of the right side of the patio. But if you put them kind of in the middle, you're limited to how much seating you can put out there. And the big thing with, regardless of whether the easement is granted, I'm still gonna put the steps on that side. It's just the fact that I wanted to add that service area to kind of help when there's, events out in the alleyway. Because right now I have to put a tub at my other back door and it's just not conducive to,
All right, okay. Well, that answered my question. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, all right.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Okay, proceeding with the consent agenda, Councilmember Brandt.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as follows. Items A1 through G3. Which would be resolutions 30500 through 30526. We're also including 30537.
It's E11.
E11.
Second.
Okay, moved by Councilmember Brandt, seconded by Councilmember Jensen to approve the consent agenda, including items A1 through G3 and item E11 from the next portion of the agenda, and resolutions 30500 through 30526 and 30537. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Motion is approved. For the next section, I will turn over the meeting to the Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with Mayor Abwasli's abstention as follows. Items E10, E1 to E10, and then E12, which includes resolutions 30527 to 30536, and then 30538.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda with Mayor Rob Wassley's abstention as follows. Items E1 through E10 and item E12, resolutions 30527 through 30536 and 30538. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. And we have one abstention. I will move the meeting back to the mayor.
Thank you. Okay, proceeding with the regular agenda under administrative services.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 30539, approving agreement with Marian Cares regarding the award of funds from the Civil Rights Commission Low to Moderate Income Housing Grant Program and authorizing payment in the amount of $20,000.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30539, approving an agreement with Marian Cares for the award of funds from the Civil Rights Commission Low to Moderate Income Housing Grant Program and authorizing the payment of $20,000. Discussion? I'll just add, I think that's a great use of those funds. So, any further discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor of resolution number 30539, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion has been approved. This time we have a presentation of the check to Marian Cares. Is that- Okay, so we have our chair of the Marian Civil Rights Commission. And would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so go ahead.
My name is Chris Thomas. I am the president of the Board of Marian Cares, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
Welcome. Go ahead
Yes,
and make the
and so
presentation.
on behalf of the Marian Civil Rights Commission, we are very pleased to recommend and award Marian Cares with this $20,000 grant from the Moderate Income Housing Program that we established several years ago. This is designed to help individuals in potential eviction. So it's part of their eviction prevention program, which really awards or provides services during critical times for individuals in the Marion area. So with that, here is a lovely check. Would you like to say a few words?
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor, council members, government employees, to all of our hardworking and dedicated citizens of this community, I want to say thank you. No community is without vulnerable members, and Marian Cares strives to be a collaborator and connect our most vulnerable people with the resources they need: food on the table, remain in their homes, a place to sleep. And so I really, really appreciate the fact that this city takes that seriously and is willing to fund what Marian Cares does on a daily basis. So thank you very much.
We should be thanking your organization for all that you do for people in the community. It really is an amazing asset to have Marian Cares in the community, helping to take care of the vulnerable population. It says a lot about who we are as a community, how much we care about the most vulnerable among us. It says who we are. And so we're grateful to what you all do.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Angelica. Okay. Next on the agenda is a public hearing regarding an ordinance establishing Chapter 111A of the Code of Ordinances relating to electric franchise with ITC Midwest LLC. Public hearing is open. Do we have a presentation?
This is mine, Your Honor.
Okay.
This
go ahead.
ordinance is simply just establishing our transmission electric franchise with ITC Midwest. We previously had an electric franchise prior to the current one we have with Alliant that included both transmission and distribution. Because of some corporate changes, we need to have a separate one with ITC Midwest to cover the transmission. And we have Sydney Level here from ITC who can also speak to this further.
Okay, so we're going to take, well, I guess go ahead if you wanted to, and then we'll take public comments. That's fine.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you for having me here tonight. I'm Sydney Lovell. I am the area manager for ITC Midwest. And I do appreciate just you, Mayor, and council taking a few moments to listen to me, and also Kara for your diligent work on working with our internal counsel to get this franchise language where I think it needed to be. So just to give you guys a little background, and I do have something I can pass out. But we formed, and I don't think that just typically everybody knows this, ITC Midwest formed when we purchased solely the transmission assets from Alliant Energy back in 2007. So prior to that, Alliant had it all. They had the distribution, they had the transmission, and then in 07, we took over only the transmission. And I do take this graphic almost everywhere just to kind of show everybody that ITC is in the middle with the transmission. You have the generation and the distribution on the other sides, and we don't work with any of those. So our portion of the electric grid is just the transmission. And so over the course of the last, I think it started probably during COVID, we started to revisit where we needed to get our franchises updated, and that's what we're working on right now. So Kara and our internal counsel worked on the language for the franchise. I don't think that's a new term for you guys, but that's what we are seeking to get established.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Is there anyone here to address council on this measure, either in favor or in opposition? Please come forward. Okay. And I'll ask the staff, have we had any comments outside this meeting on this measure?
I haven't received any.
None? Okay. Then we'll note that for the public record. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And we'll move on to the motion and discussion among the council.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance number 2206, establishing Chapter 111A of the Code of Ordinances relating to electric franchise with ITC Midwest LLC. This is our initial consideration.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the initial consideration of ordinance number 22-06, establishing chapter 111A of the Code of Ordinances relating to electric franchise with ITC Midwest LLC. Discussion. You have a?
No.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't tell. Anyone else? Okay, then we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of approving ordinance number 22-06, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 22-07, approving an amendment to chapter 50 of the Marion Code of Ordinances regarding nuisance abatement procedure, and this is the initial consideration.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the initial consideration of ordinance number 22-07, approving an amendment to chapter 50 of the Code of Ordinances regarding nuisance abatement procedures. Discussion. All those in favor of approving ordinance number 22-07, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I make a motion directing staff to proceed with sanitary sewer variable rate increase from $4.60 to $6.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to direct the staff to proceed with sanitary sewer variable rate increase from $4.60 to $6. Discussion. I think we've had plenty of discussion as to the need for this, and so. Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved. This time we have a public hearing regarding the 2022 sanitary cured in place pipe rehabilitation project. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing and ask for a presentation from city engineer.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is our annual cured in place pipe rehab project. We received 4 bids. The low bid was from SAK Construction at $244,849, which was 93.67% of the engineer's estimate. It has a completion date of 10/28/22 with liquidated damage of $300 per day. And we are recommending approval with SAK Construction.
Okay, is there anyone here to address the council? Either in favor or in opposition to this measure, please come forward. Okay, if we had any comments outside the meeting,
We have not.
okay, please note that for the record. We'll close the public hearing and move to the resolution.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 30540, accepting bids and awarding contract to SAC Construction LLC regarding the 2022 sanitary cured in place pipe rehabilitation project in the amount of $244,849.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Menser, seconded by Councilmember Sternad, to approve resolution number 30540, accepting the bids and awarding the contract to SAK Construction LLC for the 2022 sanitary cured in place pipe rehabilitation project in the amount of $244,849. Discussion. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 30541, approving contract and bond with HydroClean LLC regarding the 2022 sanitary sewer manhole rehabilitation project and authorizing payment in the amount of $39,482.68.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30541, approving the contract and bond with HydroClean LLC for the 2022 sanitary sewer manhole rehabilitation project and authorizing payment in the amount of $39,482.68. Discussion. All those in favor of resolution number 30541, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 30542, rescinding resolution 17745 and establishing truck routes.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30542, rescinding resolution 17745 and establishing truck routes. Discussion on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mike, would you please just highlight what the principal change is with this as compared to our current truck route system?
So our current resolution 17745 has many of our collectors as truck routes. So rather than have those routes being beat up by those heavy trucks, we're pushing it so that it would now be only 3 locations. It would be all US and state highways, which would be Highway 100, 13, and 151. And then Business 151, except for that section in the uptown, which is from 7th Street to 27th Street, where we want them to be on 6th Avenue that we've reconstructed. So this does not mean that they can't be elsewhere within the city. If they have a designated delivery spot, they can veer off the truck route to make that delivery and then get back to the truck route. So if a resident has a 53-foot semi that needs to make a delivery to their home, they're still allowed to do that. But this way, we're trying to keep those trucks on our main thoroughfares.
Good. Thank you for that, highlighting the principal changes here. Appreciate that.
Any further discussion? Ready? Or do you have something? Okay. All those in favor of approving resolution number 30542, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The motion is approved. The next item, I will turn over the meeting to the Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve resolution number 30543, approving request for escalation of cost for Ahern regarding the Marian Library project in the amount of $8,237.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30543, approving a request for escalation of cost for Ahern regarding the Marian Library project in the amount of $8,237. Discussion.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I wanted to make sure that we made a record of what staff's recommendation is with regard to resolutions 30543, 30544, and 30545. We've reviewed all 3 of these change order requests, and we are recommending that you not approve them. That's based on the fact that these change order requests did not comply with the requirements set forth in the contract under Articles 8 or Articles 15.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Just a general comment. I do want to applaud the trade representatives in their presentations to us on, I think, 2 separate meetings. It was certainly informative in terms of understanding the nature of their requests. And so I do want to thank them for their attentiveness to what we were concerned about.
Any other discussion? And we will vote. All those in favor of approving resolution 30543, please say aye. All those opposed, please say no.
No.
And we have 1 abstention.
Mayor Pro Tem.
No,
Uh,
I've got
Back
this.
to the
Okay,
mayor.
back to. Mayor, I make a motion approving resolution number 30544, approving a request for escalation of costs for Pipe Pro regarding the Marian Library project in the amount of $115,033.22.
Second.
Been moved and seconded moved by Councilmember Menzer, seconded by Councilmember Brandt to approve resolution number 30544, approving the request for escalation of costs for Pipe Pro regarding the library project in the amount of $115,033.22. Discussion. Okay, all those in favor of resolution 30544, please say aye. All those opposed, please say no.
No.
Okay, the motion is not approved. And I will turn it back to the Mayor Pro Tem for the next one.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve resolution number 30545, approving the request for escalation of cost for Acme regarding the Marian Library project in the amount of $50,584.48.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30545, approving requests for escalation of costs for Acme regarding the Marian Library project in the amount of $50,584.48. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. All those in favor of approving the request, please say aye. All those opposed, please say no.
No.
We have one abstention. I'll move it back to the mayor.
Your Honor, I move to approve resolution number 30546, approving contract and bond with BG Brecky Incorporated regarding the 2022 sanitary sewer manhole project and authorizing payment in the amount of $76,978.
Second.
Go ahead. It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution 30546, approving contract and bond with BG Brecky Incorporated regarding the 2022 sanitary sewer manhole project and authorizing payment in the amount of $76,978. Discussion. Seeing none, we will vote. All those in favor of resolution 30546, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And one abstention.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve resolution number 30547, approve change order number 17 with Acme Electric Company regarding the Marian Library project bid package 26A to add J boxes to the book drop electrical room in the amount of $2,723.07.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30547, approving change order 017 with Acme Electric Company regarding the Marian Library project bid package 26A to add J boxes to the book drop electrical room in the amount of $2,723.07. Any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
this was not on the Tuesday council agenda. That's why it was put on Thursday for the regular. Staff is recommending that we approve this one. This one is time sensitive.
Thank you. Any further discussion? No. All right, let's vote. All those in favor of approving resolution 30547, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And we have one abstention. And
Okay.
now it's back to the mayor.
Next, we have a public hearing on a request to rezone property west of Albernette Road and south of Prairie Trail from undesignated to SR2 suburban medium density single family residential. Can we have a presentation?
The following, as indicated, is a public hearing regarding the rezoning of property west on Albernette Road. The area is highlighted in red or outlined in red and hatched on the map. You can see that the proposed rezoning is a response to an annexation. The developer recently purchased property, annexed it into the city of Marion, and is requesting to move forward with platting procedures, which requires the property to be rezoned. The reason it's undesignated currently is because it was, when it comes into the city, it needs to be rezoned before the property can be developed. The request before you is to go to the SR2 suburban medium density single family residential, which is very similar to the property to the north. The property to the west, where it's highlighted in yellow, but you're not seeing the individual lots laid out. That property has a little bit larger lot configuration, but it is all preliminary platted. The council has seen that preliminary plat. In the packet, there was a conceptual layout for the subdivision that's going forward, and we'll come to the council for final approval preliminary plat in the future. And it does connect into that SR1 zoning district area. To the east is Oak Ridge School, and to the south of the red hatched area are county properties that have yet to be annexed into the city. There were property owners within 300 feet were notified, and we've not received comment in the department regarding this.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here to address the council either in favor or in opposition of this measure? Okay, did we receive any comments outside the meeting? Okay. The answer was no.
Correct.
The recording can't pick that up. So we'll note that for the record and we'll close the public hearing, and for the resolution or for the ordinance motion, I will turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem, I move to approve ordinance number 2208, approving a request to rezone property located west of Albernet Road and south of Prairie Trail, Marion, Iowa, from undesignated to SR2, suburban medium density, single family residential, Integrity Custom Home, Inc. Initial consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 22-08, approving a request to rezone property located west of Albernet Road and south of Prairie Trail, Marion, Iowa, from undesignated to SR2, suburban medium density, single family residential, Integrity Custom Homes. Initial consideration. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And we have one abstention. Move it back to the mayor.
Next is a public hearing on an amendment to section 176.50-12 regarding sidewalk cafes within the U1, U2, and UTC1 zoning districts. And an amendment to section 176.52 regarding the use of standards associated with the sidewalk cafes. All right, maybe do we have a presentation?
Just a quick one, Your Honor. The following just lays out the use and standards for outdoor cafes in the uptown area, or more specifically, the areas identified in the ordinance for specific zoning district classification. So at this point, we're amending the zoning code to provide for outdoor cafes in the districts, and then we'll also, and the council does have in there, it was in the packet, and then I think you received further correspondence that'll be adopted by resolution as a policy document outlining the design aesthetic for those and how they're to look and feel in the process for getting those approved. At this point, we're asking that the ordinances be brought forward at the next meeting. The work session will do a presentation to the council on that policy document. Anything that comes in to the interim will be evaluated against that policy document and highlighted for the council as an encroachment agreement. Therefore, we're not delaying anybody that would like to provide for and establish an outdoor cafe in the uptown area.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone here to address the council either in favor or in opposition of this measure? Please come forward. Okay. Did we receive comments outside the meeting?
Not on the ordinances, no.
Okay. So please note that for the record, we'll close the public hearing and proceed to the motion.
Mayor, move to approve ordinance number 22-09, approving an amendment to section 176.50-12 of the Marion Code of Ordinances regarding sidewalk cafes within the U1, U2, and UTC1 zoning districts. This is initial consideration.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 22-09, initial consideration, approving an amendment to section 176.50-12 of the Marion Code of Ordinances regarding sidewalk cafes within the U1, U2, and UTC1 zoning districts. Discussion. Yes, go ahead, Megan.
Thank you, Mayor. Tom, I just had a quick question. As we see the build out of our trails through the community, do we see that this may carry through outside of the uptown district to keep that harmony through as we start to see some of this build out? I know what we're going for in the uptown area there. I'm just looking for consistency in other areas that would be outside of this territory.
Yeah, I think we'll see some of the desires to have the outdoor seating adjacent to the to the trails where appropriate. I think most of the time we're going to see that on private property, but adjacent to the public trail system. So that'd be a little bit different. But it's like any other ordinance. So we're amendable and amenable to see how those things play out. I think at this point, we know this one's coming. And I think as we see more development occur, we'll continually evaluate what design and just outdoor seating arrangements will be out there. But we certainly want to encourage that along our corridor. And we really see that as a major tourist attraction moving forward. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, that most likely it wouldn't be on public sidewalk down the road. Any other discussion? Okay. We'll vote. All those in favor of ordinance number 22-09, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion is approved.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance number 22-10, approving an amendment to section 176.52 of the Marion Code of Ordinances regarding the use standards associated with sidewalk cafes. Initial consideration.
Second.
Been moved by Councilmember Harper, seconded by Councilmember Jensen to approve ordinance number 22-10, approving an amendment to section 176.52 of the Code of Ordinances regarding the use standards associated with sidewalk cafes. Discussion? All those in favor of ordinance number 22-10, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I move to approve, or I'd like to make a motion to remove from table resolution number 30498 regarding a permanent easement agreement with Les Arnold for property located at 1038-48 7th Avenue.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to remove from the table resolution number 30498 and place it back on the floor for consideration. Any discussion on removing from the table? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion is approved.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 30498, approving a permanent easement agreement with Les Arnold for property located 1038-48 7th Avenue to permit stairs to encroach into the east-west alley between 10th and 11th Streets and 7th and 8th Avenue, tabled 4/21/22.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 30498, approving a permanent easement agreement with Les Arnold for property at 1038 and 1048 7th Avenue to permit stairs to encroach into the east-west alley between 10th and 11th Streets and 7th and 8th Avenues. Discussion? Yes, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I at this point, I 100% support Mr. Arnold's plan to have steps from his outdoor patio to the alley. Again, I think that is great for his business and great for everybody that will be in the alley. But my concerns are that it could become more of a hazard in the alley. If the planter and bench were not there, I think you got more of a hazard with those steps sticking out in the alley. And I also believe that he's got other ways to service the patrons to the outside patio without having that window. So, I mean, I support his plan, his idea, but I think he can do it within the patio itself without going out into the alley. So for that reason, I'll probably say no.
Any other discussion? Yeah, go ahead, Will.
So it's more of a question, the steps going out into the alley, there's gonna be handrails on them. I assume it's gonna go all the way to the bottom step, or is it gonna go off the step and onto the ground in front of it? Do we know that yet? Or how code is for that, or? No
My
guarantee.
man's not here. Mr. Hansen's not in the audience, but I believe the code would allow it, I think, to be on the step, but I'm not positive for sure on that.
And then,
That's it.
okay.
And it would likely have to stick out past the steps. If you look at what we've put on 7th Avenue, a lot of times it has to have that so that you have that first grip when you first come in as well.
So just off the step, like right in front of the step, is that how it would be typically? Okay. So not like another foot out in front of it type of thing. Okay. I'll just make a comment too.
Go ahead.
At first I was concerned and did not like the idea of the steps encroaching out into the alley, but then just going back there and looking at it, and you can see it in the picture right here. Yes, the bench and the planter are gonna be in the way or can stop anyone from running into it. We'll say if they're walking down the alley, but that was my concern is if those were gone and someone's walking down the alley, they could potentially run into it. But then look at the picture and I bet the majority of the time when most of the people are walking through that alley, there's gonna be tables and chairs sitting there also that are in the way of the actual walkway in the alley. So that kind of changed my look at it, that there's already stuff in the actual walkway of the alley that can impede someone's movement through the alley. So I think that changed my mind on it and I'm gonna be in favor of it, so.
Councilmember Sternad.
Thank you. I just had a couple of questions as well too. Maybe Tom, you can help answer these. I would assume that the steps themselves would be concrete as opposed to being steel in construction on the bottom 2 steps, correct?
It's my understanding they'd be concrete, but
Okay. And I would assume, and I would like to say, I guess in my opinion is I would like to see, we haven't discussed anything about railings. I would assume there would need to be a requirement of a railing or 2 railings, one on each side that would extend down onto that top step as well too. So that would obviously take away my concern from a trip hazard. But there's been no discussion about, proposing of railings for that. And I was just curious if you could enlighten me on that.
I don't know that we've seen anything relative to the railings. at this
Okay.
point. Yeah, the rail, but they'll definitely be required.
Okay. So I'm assuming that the railings would be within the footprint and extend down, obviously. So that would give us a little bit more, because I'm as well too. I share all the same concerns for everyone else. I hate to change and set precedences about, impeding in on that area a bit, but I understand. And I just wanted a couple of those clarifications. So thank you. That's all.
Okay. Councilmember Mentor.
I have concerns on this. And I support what you're doing because, again, everything they've already said, I won't repeat it, but I applaud you participating in making that area the gathering space that we envisioned it to be. I was part of it when we originally did the visioning way back in the day. And we were kind of figuring out how this was going to be the place everybody gathers. So once we grant this permanent easement, and let's say, it's kind of for Tom and Mike, we approve this, steps go in, and it becomes a problem. There's nothing we can do about it. Right? I mean, there's no temporary, there's no trial on this. Once we
So-
grant this, it's done.
So I would like to ask our city attorney to explain the agreement, because those were the concerns I expressed at the last time we discussed it. Reading through the agreement, I feel much better about it. I think there are ways for the city to ask for it to be canceled. And I'll just let the city attorney.
Yes, so in our general encroachment easement agreements, the things that we always include are an agreement for the maintenance, so that's required. And then we also have sundown or sunset clauses in there so that if something happens, such as they completely reconstruct the patio area, or if the stairs become in disrepair, are destroyed and they don't repair, replace them within so much time, I believe we have 6 months in this contract, or if we agree by mutual agreement, or if it's discontinued use, then the easement terminates automatically.
doesn't it also say that either side can ask for it to be terminated in good faith? I mean, it can't be unreasonably withheld, and it's got to be considered in good faith.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I believe
So,
there's 5 different conditions in the
it's-
sunset
It's
clause.
not exactly, I mean, it's not exactly permanent.
Because I see this as you're fortunate, it's fortunate that we have this here and you're fortunate to be a part of this, but I feel like we're kind of this is like the epitome of community and neighborhood as it relates to us all like helping to create and share this space and work with each other to make it good for our community. So thank you. That helps with some of my concerns that we do this and then, oh, we have problems and there's just nothing we can do about it. But if we have some ways we can continue discussions and work through any potential issues that would come up in the future, that helps to ease my concerns.
Your Honor, if I may, a large portion of the Uptown Artway is actually located on easements that the city has from the businesses as well. So there is a large mutual understanding between the city and the business owners up there. I believe we have 5 or 6 of the property owners that have granted permanent access easements to allow the public to encroach, hang out, gather on their property. And we do this in other places as well, where we have some signs or driveways that it wasn't going to work unless they encroach slightly onto public property. And we have the same type of relationship in clauses.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, say this is a big collaborative initiative that we all will see the benefit
Yeah,
of, but
that is a good point that the city attorney makes, is that the original alley is what, 10 feet? And all the additional space is easements from the private owners. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor of approving resolution number 30498, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
We have 1 no, the ayes have it, and the motion is approved. Okay, this brings us to the public forum, which is the time set aside for comments from members of the public on any item, any topic. Is there anyone here to address council? Please come forward. State your name and address.
Good evening, councilmen, women, Your Honor. My name is Nathan Caraway. I'm here to talk about a strange sewer problem in the Uptown. Pretty exciting work. Is there a projector issue or a projector I could put this up on just for a quick little reference? This is in regards specifically to the property at 958, 960 7th Avenue and the 2 properties to the east. In the discussion that Mike Barklow, Jacob Hahn, I believe, has had with us during the streetscape project, is that there's an antiquated sewer line that encroaches into the property at 958, 960 7th Avenue in a non-traditional fashion. If you look at the area in yellow, that is the boundary of 958, 960, which I do own. The green is the approximate location of the antiquated sewer line, and you can see that it services the building to the east, which is the School of Rock building. The owner, Greg Moore, could not be here tonight, but he did submit an email for your consideration to the city court today. It appears that the sewer comes out the west side of his building into my property, horseshoes out towards 7th Avenue, and then back into my property before it gets into the alleyway sewer. So the problem is unique. The solution is very simple. The sewer is located in the alley, and as I understand it, in talking to the sewer contractors for the streetscape project, is that the sewer would just need to extend out into 7th Avenue and come up and serve the School of Rock building in a traditional fashion, like all the rest of the properties on 7th Avenue. It also sounds as if this is the only property that this has happened in the whole streetscape, the first process. I'm not sure what the phases are called currently, but this hasn't happened, and Mike could clarify that if that's not the case at all. So what I'm seeking is to ask the council to consider directing city staff to look at solving that in a traditional fashion. In keeping with the Marion Uptown revitalization and the Uptown District, the state of Iowa talked about the revitalization of the uptowns and how important it is to the economic impact of the community. A part of that discussion with Tim Reinders was keeping the frontage of the buildings in the historic district in keeping with the other buildings in the historic district so that the frontages appear the same. Looking at the green horseshoe currently would require that any building that is constructed on that parcel be set back a considerable amount of distance, which would cause maybe an access issue. We already know it's an antiquated line, so it's coming, the time is ticking on it anyway. And in other municipalities I've discussed this with, it's kind of a come together and come up with a solution. So the solution seems pretty simple. If you look at the heavy outlined in dark blue, that's the School of Rock building. If a building was constructed to the setback currently in yellow, it would cut off the sewer to the School of Rock building and the other tenant there. So there's two property owners there. The solution to this would be to come out of the alley south and turn, and this is my recommendation, I'm not an engineer, to turn and run to the east in 7th Avenue like a traditional sewer would. And the blue line is what I believe is the current proposed water improvement to the School of Rock building. The reason this becomes timing of the essence is that we haven't got that turn the corner literally to work on that part of the streetscape project. So we're trying to be conscious of that. We're trying to keep from having to take and tear out new amenities that are going to be done and completed with the streetscape project when that sewer fails, not if. The solution that I see as a layperson is the blue line being the new water line that's going to the School of Rock building. The equipment will already be there to excavate that new water service into that building. And there'll be a new water service going into the 958, 960 property as well. As I understand it, the two utilities will in effect enter the building, should this be done, at the same location. The trenches would just have to be deviated by whatever the code requires for distance, and Mike could speak to this. So in effect, the machinery is already going to be there. The equipment's already going to be there. The street's going to be gone. It presents, this is an issue that predates all of us. And it's a failure that's coming. And I don't see any way to fix it without tearing up the amenities that are going to be redone. So if you could, Mr. Greg Moore, I don't know, Rachel, if you did receive his email today.
Yes.
He asked that it be read if that's appropriate. He's the owner of
Sure.
School of Rock.
Yep. So we normally just show it on the PowerPoint. It
Okay.
would be the next slide. And I've previously sent it to council.
Okay, thank you. The owner of the upper floor, Matt, was not able to attend tonight. So if there's any questions you have, or if Mike, if you have anything to interject, I just wanted to bring it to attention just because timing is of the essence. I appreciate your consideration on this.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Anyone else to address the council? Okay, then we will move on to council comments. Let's start with Randy.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. There's been a lot happening this week. I'm sure others are going to speak of it as well, too. I enjoyed going out to the employee appreciation luncheon today. We had a great turnout. I would like to thank everybody that came out and those that were able to participate either on site or off site. Also, too, this is National City Clerk Week. I'm going to say it again because I think it's a great thing. Thank you, Rachel, for all you do for us and all of our department people as well, but it's just happens to be this week, so that's great. I was able to participate last week. We had just an incredible turnout with the collaboration of the fire station's open house and the City of Marion Showcase and the YMCA's Healthy Kids Day. It was a lot of a fun attending those events. I worked over at the fire station in the morning and then worked the council booth over at the YMCA. It was just really exciting to see how the community's coming out for the city events and the hosting of these through the different organizations within the community. So it's exciting to see the numbers were very high. I know we had been well over the 600 count And I think our anticipations were somewhere around 500. So it was just, can't say how exciting it was to roll up on these facilities and see the cars just literally jam packed into these parking lots for city events like this. So it's just very fun to see. So I just wanted to kind of put a few shouts out there, but that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm going to piggyback on that from the Y perspective. This was the 30th anniversary of Healthy Kids Day, and this is just another example of great collaboration. We figured out that the city was going to do the Marion City Showcase on the same morning that the Y, which is it's a national, Healthy Kids Day is a national program through YUSA, was going to be hosting that event. And I just have to give a big shout out to Amber and Jessica, who came together with our staff and managed to merge a whole lot of details in a brand new space for both of the entities. It had never been held there before. And I want to thank the rest of the city staff who hauled tables and set up, and we were open. We had, not including staff from either the Y or the city or volunteers, we had just under 700 people that we tallied come through the doors. And we've just received a lot of compliments from the families that were there and the people that were there. But we had that building turned around in an hour, and we opened back up again at 1 o'clock. And we didn't even start cleaning popcorn off the floor till 12:15. So it was amazing. And we could not have done this without the collaborative work of all the staff to make that work. So I thank you so many times for that and look forward to future opportunities. But thank you to Amber, Jessica, and everybody who was involved in making that happen.
Thank you.
It's been a busy week. Yesterday out at Prospect Meadows was the Medco's annual luncheon. It was a very good lunch, very good speakers. And then they had a fun home run derby afterwards. That was fun to watch. Congratulations to Seth Stasham, our Parks Director, for hitting 3 home runs. And I'm very disappointed in Tom Trahern and Ryan Waller for hitting 0 home runs. Maybe next year. And then I didn't know it was National City Clerk Week. Is that what it is?
I think it's Professional Municipal Clerks Week.
Oh, excellent. Well, congratulations on that week. Thank you for all that you do. And then
Should have had a proclamation.
I know, right? Maybe next year. And then thank you to all the city staff for the work that you do for the citizens. We had the appreciation day today. What's that? Go ahead. And that was a lot of fun out at Lau Park today. Again, great speakers, watching the bags tournament. It was real fun to watch interim deputy chief Jason Hansen lose at bags today. So that was a lot of fun. So had to get some shots in there. That's all I got.
Thank you. Steve, Grant.
Just a few items. Back to the National Professional City Clerk Week. One of the things that I've learned in my professional career is there are people in authority, and then there are people in power. And after joining city council, I very quickly figured out where the power is. It's with our city clerk, who does a marvelous job. City showcase, the fire station and the YMCA, that was a marvelous event. I was a little worried about my colleague, Steve Jensen. I thought he was going to get an overuse injury for how fast he was bagging up popcorn. But
We're comp clan, maybe.
Yeah. But it was a marvelous event, and with all of the information tables that city staff had, as well as the activities for the kids, and the displays of equipment, fire, public services, PD. I just thought it was amazing, and the weather cooperated, right? I think that was the good thing. Today I had a emergent conflict, so I wasn't able to attend the employee appreciation festivities out at Lau Park. But as a resident of Marion for 42 plus years, longstanding employee care and nurturing of our community and responsiveness to our cities. That's been a hallmark of, I think, the city of Marion and why people like to live here. And so I just want to express my gratitude and thanks to all of the employees and even the leadership team over here and Mike and everybody, yes, just for what you bring to the community. So thank you. And then finally, and perhaps the most important thing that I can possibly offer is this Saturday, 8 a.m. sharp. Tawby Park is the opening of the farmers market season for the city of Marion. So bring all your friends and relatives, come on down and stop in and, you know, chat with me and Council Member Menser. We'll be there. And but that's a great event. It's just amazing, the vendors that show up with all of their various things. The only thing I've made a note of is the one vendor that has the breakfast sandwiches. I got to get there early because almost every time last year they were sold out by the time I wandered over. Okay, thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, for my part, since Grant mentioned the council office hours, I will add to that. It's good to be back doing those. I think it's an important part of the council's outreach in the community and our being available to answer questions, to take input. And I really appreciate the effort that all the council members make to staff those office hours. It's a really important part of what we do, and it's well received by the community, and it's very important. So thank you in advance for all the hours you're going to put into office hours this coming season. I'm looking forward to the library being open so that we can be there year round every Saturday with our more normal office hours routine. So want to say happy birthday to Kirsten, our HR director. Today's her birthday. And the event today at Lau Park was just very well planned. It was just such a fun time to see everyone, or a lot of our city team, come together. And it was well planned by Amber. I want to thank her for all the effort she puts into those types of things to make things enjoyable for our team, and everyone who had a part in it. I know there were other people who also had a hand in it, so thank you. I don't know exactly what everybody did, but thank you to everyone who did that. It's a good time for us to come together and to celebrate our team and to show appreciation for everything that our team does every single day of the year to make our city look good. And we are at a time where Marion is really standing out as a community, and it's all because of the hard work of all our team members, every single one of them, regardless of what their job is. Everyone believes in the vision of Marion being a place where people enjoy living and where we provide amazing opportunities for people. And I think that's what it's all about. And that's what makes us stand out, is that we really focus on quality of life and providing excellent services. And it's that customer service aspect of it that really makes Marion a standout community. So I know I said all this or most of this today, but thank you. And thanks to the council members who were able to join us out there. Since the last meeting, we had a ribbon cutting at Culver's for their 25th anniversary of their retail operation, 40th year in business. We had Chief Crable's retirement party, which was really a wonderful event, and it's just such a fitting event for her. And it was very well done, very well planned, and extremely well attended. And we wish her the best in her retirement. Also, city manager and I had breakfast with the Cedar Rapids mayor and city manager, and we're going to start a monthly routine of meeting with them. We really have to work together as a region. There's no reason for communities in this region to be competing with each other. We all benefit when every corner thrives and when we cheer for each other and are supportive of each other and find ways that we can work together as a region. And I think that we've made some good strides in that direction. It's just fun to see Marion at the table. That's really why I ran for mayor 7.5 years ago, was because Marion needed to be at the table and needed to be part of the equation in this region. And it's fun to have Marion have that kind of standing in the region now, and we'll keep it going. Also had the chance to be a speaker at the Women Lead Change Conference on a male ally panel, which was really a great opportunity. We've had a groundbreaking for the Boulevard Apartments on the former Hames mobile home site, sales site. Everyone's mentioned last Saturday. In addition to what everyone else has said, we also gave a proclamation in celebration of Arbor Day and in recognition of our city's 28th year as a Tree City USA. So we did that on Saturday also at the Y. I got to go up in the bucket truck. That was awesome. It was a little windy, but and we gave out some trees, right? 100 and some trees. Yep. And I've started a senior facilities tour. I'd spent 3 hours meeting with residents of Marion Senior Living last week, and I have some others coming up at different facilities in the next couple of weeks. And it's just such a great time to see the positivity of our older adults about what's going on, and they're really engaged. They know everything that's happening and they want to be involved. I just got a card from someone at that facility that said, please let us know how we can be part of everything. How, if the city needs help with something, we're willing, any task that we can do to help. So it's really exciting to see that we're engaging all groups in our community, and that people are positive, people are energized, people are really supportive of the direction of the city, and they're excited about the future. Even older adults, who may not have, as long of a time horizon as younger people, but they're still excited about the future. That reminds me of Paul Draper, actually, because that's how Paul was. At 85, he was excited about the future for future generations and what we were doing for future generations. And that's really exciting. And that says a lot, I think. So I'm looking forward to continuing those tours of the senior facilities and engaging with the residents and sharing with them everything that we're doing. I want to end with everyone, of course, is aware by now that the former Marian Methodist Church building was saved from demolition, and it's been amazing. Not unsurprising to me, but amazing to see the reaction in the community. The positive sentiment that has generated in the community is immeasurable and invaluable. And not only in Marion, across the region, people are looking at Marion saying they've got it right. Across the state, not only was it reported on by our local media in Des Moines, I got a call from someone in Western Iowa, a small town, who had an idea. I have been receiving emails and phone calls about ideas and what people think it should be done with it. The important part was there's lots of great ideas. None of them mattered until we saved the building. And now it's fun to see all these ideas come forward. And you can't measure the value of that, of the positive sentiment that brings to the city. And when preservationists and just regular people look at Marion and say they're doing it right, they see the value of the history. And that means a lot. And that really is valuable to our city. I hope that, we can see that as an example of, what we can do going forward. The importance of preservation, the importance of history, the importance of, to Marion, of being the oldest town in Lynn County, the importance of our history and how that can be part of our progress in our future. It needs to be part of our progress in our future. We're really valuing it if we don't see the value of that. I think we're selling ourselves short. If we don't see the value of taking our history along with us as we progress into the future, and making that the centerpiece of what Marion is. So, this $98,000 building is now going to be a $20 to $30 million project that could drive the entire trajectory of our uptown. That's amazing. My hope is that we will take that and we will build on it a true legacy of valuing history and preserving, and that when we talk about driving our destiny, we being in the driver's seat, that is an example of determining what your end result is and doing what it takes to get there and not letting things just happen to us. I just hope that I'm really excited about it. Tomorrow we start with the visioning with the developer, and I'm really excited to see where this goes for the whole community, for all of us, and for the history of Marion, past, present, and future. So that's all I have. Thank you for bearing with me with that. I think by now I speak from my heart, and I just wanted to share those sentiments with you. We have one more thing from Randy.
I'm sorry, Mayor. I had one other thing I wanted to just point out here. The city has an award. It's called the Paul Draper Award. Just for everyone's announcement here. This is an award that recognizes a City of Marion employee who best represents dedication to public service combined with exceptional work ethic, humility, a sense of humor, and a sincere desire to see the city team and its individual members succeed. We had several phenomenal individuals that was nominated for this award, and super excited to congratulate Tom Dobbs on winning that today. Tom is our SR officer for Linn-Mar School Districts and a police officer with our Marion Police Department. So I just want to recognize Tom Dobbs as well.
Thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you all. Have a good weekend.